Yeah, hello everyone. So, welcome to Pro20X. So, yeah, today we have Mr. Ranvijay Singh, who is currently the Chief Product Officer at
Hi.
CyberPal. Yeah,
Hello. Hi.
so, so I will give him the stage. Yeah, thank you so much for coming. And like to every Indian who is attending the session, a very happy Independence Day.
Okay.
Okay,
Thanks,
yeah.
Law. Hi, guys. Okay, so today what we are going to discuss is all about the product and the features prioritization, how we are going to set, pricing, and what could be the revenue streams. Am I audible to you guys? Okay. So let's see. Just so is this a screen visible to you guys? Okay, so what we are going to do today is we are going to discuss about the product management and uh, things we are going to discuss today is the product basics and the features prioritization along with the roadmap, then pricing and revenue streams, and that will be followed by the question and answers. Means you can ask me questions and I can reply to your questions based on whatever the questions you are putting up in chat. So here's a brief about me. I have been into industry for last 10 to 12 years, and I have been working for marketing in different domains, marketing, technology, then sales, and lot more things. And then finally, after so much of experience, I switched to product management because I had to build my own startup that was uh, mShipper in 2015, which was a hyperlocal logistics platform. And since then, the relationship with these products, the consumer behavior, understanding of technology, how to build good products for people. So I started learning about that. I started speaking to people. I started collecting feedbacks and learned a lot more from there. From then I joined on Pull2, then few more organizations, including Inc. 42, and currently I'm working with CyberPal as their chief product officer. CyberPal is a kind of ecosystem for cybersecurity solutions, and I'm there for their consulting in building their products and growth scale. This is how I rate myself in terms of skills, in terms of experience. You can take a look. Like I know a bit about coding, so I understand like what it is going to be built, what technology is going to be used, and how we can achieve a certain feature, a certain product, along with the development timelines, how much time it should take. So I will have a fair idea about what things or what time it will take to build something. So then I am a sole believer in logics and innovative thinking. That's the reason I rated myself 75% in most of the cases. Then in terms of customer experience, as I told you, I started speaking with a lot more people since 2015 to 2020. So that's 5 years. So spoke to different people, number of people through telephones, through mobile, through emails, and a number of conversations, online, offline, both. I'm good at marketing. So yes, I rated myself 60% in terms of marketing and then sales. See, my point to show this particular skill set or the experience scorecard is just to make you understand this. Like if you're building a product, you should have all these skills because if you lack in any of the things that I mentioned here, like marketing, sales, customer experience, logics, technology, know-how, coding, hopefully that will be a kind of a tough path to go ahead because you will not be good at understanding how things are working and how things should work in future. So that's the reason. So that's the reason I like I mentioned all the experiences, different experiences here. Then let's start because this is not more about me, but what the session allows me to discuss. We should start with the product first. Like I always say we should have clarity in our goals, in our objectives, clarity in life, clarity everywhere. We need to be clear what we need to do and what exactly we want as an output. So let's let's think like what we are trying to do. Even if you're a first-time founder or you are working on a product for the first time, what's your objective? Means you are trying to build a product. For that, uh, you need to chase investors. Like you built a product that needs more funding to grow, go forward. So this could be your objective, like chasing investors. Hey, Mr. Investor, I need $100,000 as investment because I am building something that is, fantastic. That's $1 billion product in next 5 years. So you should be, putting in few of your funds here, and then I will start building more of it. And then there is the second objective where you want to build a product that has such an impact that investors are chasing you. So you need to decide what kind of product you are trying to build. You are trying to build a product, and for that product, you need to chase investors, or you need to build a product, or you are trying to build a product that after a period of time, investors start chasing you. So you need to be very much clear about it. Then, okay, for a point, if you say like why I'm talking about the investors part, because most of the time, we discuss like, should I go for funding or not? Is this a fundable business? Is this a fundable product? So I should stop that conversation because not every product is supposed to be built, keeping a mind of investment. But yes, moreover, all of us believe in serving our customers. So let's talk about something about the customers and our motives. Okay, so customers could be non-profit, means our customer could be everywhere, and our motive to serve them could be a social impact driven, and we don't want profit out of that. We want to build a product that serves the nation without any profit. We want to create an education system, an online education system for underprivileged. We want to create a social impact startup for childs, for women in society, for means anything that has got some social angle and that has nothing to do with the commercialization and profit. So this all of these are also the customers, but the motive has to be clear. Motive, like yes, I'm building a product for the society, and for that, I'm not expecting any profit. And the other side of this is I'm building a product and that definitely needs to make profit. Yeah, I'm a kind of a guy who believes in serving the nation, serving the society, and giving back to the community. So definitely there will be some CSR activity at the end when I got profitable. When I don't have anything to donate or something, or if even if I can't survive, how can I help others, isn't it? So there should be the mix of it. So the next set of customers plus motive could be, yes, I'm ready to build a product to serve to serve customers where I am expecting commercial transactions, and the main objective of those commercial transactions is to generate profit. And out of that profit, I can think of social impact, initiatives. Okay, so we made it clear, isn't it? We made it clear, like, uh, we don't want to build a product that need to chase investors. We don't want to build a product that that is that is looking for funds to go forward. Rather, we are looking to build a product, and we are very much clear, like we are building a product that will definitely serving the people, customers, will generate transactions. Unless or until it is profitable, that is not the thing. If investors find the product good, they see the prospect, they see it is promising for them, they will invest in it. So my means the product, the concept of product in our mind is clear, what we are going to build. Now, once we are clear in our motives, then we need to be very much clear about what features needs to be there and how we are going to prioritize that. Okay, so most of the people who are available online today, they very much be aware about the RISE model, that is reach, impact, then convert, and then effect, consider an effect. So that is the scoring model, which is recommended framework to prioritize product features. Everyone is aware of it. They create a different set of spreadsheets where they map every features on a different scores. Like if some features are driving more and more users into our funnel, then how many of them users are actually converting, and how many of them are being loyal to us, and and how much time it is taking to build that particular product or the feature. So this is what you can look into RISE scoring model. But what actually I want to discuss today is sequential features. Sequential features, I mean, okay. Uh, so I got a question. I got a question here. If you visited a restaurant, if you visited a restaurant and you are served with food, okay, would you like, or let's say the restaurant manager or the waiter uh, comes to you and asks you if he could serve you some cold drinks, coffee, anything. So, I want to say, like, you need to understand and you need to think in a perspective where there is sequence of events can happen, and how you can tap those sequences and solve those related issues in sequence. This way you will build a good product where your users will love to be there for a long duration. First means, if you have got sequential features, so there is a benefit. You don't have to chase unique customers every time. Let's say if you got 1,000 customers for the first time, and you got and you got sequential features, offerings features uh, that complements each other. Okay, so the chances are those 1,000 customers, out of those 1,000 customers, hopefully 70% customers will also be happy to try those other features. Even then, those features carries some more cost. And for those features, they need to pay some amount. Yeah, definitely. I will be definitely answering your questions about the sequential features. Even you can see in the next slide what I'm going to present you. So you need to think about this, like what could be the sequences of events and how you can tap the opportunity. That is, as I told you, there is the best part. This is the best part where you can have retention. Second thing, you don't have to chase unique customers every time. Okay, and sequential features, you know, you are really mapped to what actually you have to build in a certain time frame. You don't have to jump in different bucket list, like, okay, so let's build this feature first, build this feature secondly. So you don't have to think about that. You need to just create a sequence. See, for example, now, uh, as I told you, you can refer to rice model, the scoring model, and I talked about this sequential features. You can consider both of the cases while deciding on features and their priorities. But you should be very much clear, because we already made a clarity in our first and second slides. We are very clear what product we are going to build. Yes, the product which will you know attract investors, not chase investors. Second, a product that will generate commercial transactions and will make profit. So we are very much clear on the product. Hence, whatever features we are going to build, they must have direct impact on users and revenues. You should be very much clear about it. You might be having a list of 20, 25, 30 features. Say, okay, this feature is quite exciting, people will love it. Okay, we can what we can do, for example, there is an application which allows you to read books online. Let's say, I'm just giving an example, or the articles online. So what you thought, like, okay, I should build a PDF download kind of stuff, so that users can download that online article and read it anytime. Okay, but there could be the next option, and the next option could be you just provide audio option kind of thing, like convert this article into an audio file, download it, and hear it anytime, anywhere. So this is much better than downloading a PDF. And what is the use of that PDF? Because anybody can copy the text from that online article, paste it into their mobile notepad or something, and they can read it anytime. So this is not making any difference if you offer them a PDF download. Rather, yes, this is what say if you are giving them an option to download an audio file, that makes more sense. So you need to be very much clear about the direct impacts on users and revenues. Okay. Now, if few of the features which you think are there but don't have the direct impact, so they should actually be helping users, helping polishing user experience, or making better user experience, and ultimately assist revenues. So saying assisting revenue means there could be chances, like a feature is not directly generating any revenue, but yes, that is helping the main component, the main feature, to keep bringing in more revenues. Okay, so let's tell me something in an example. You can have your own example, but I just thought of in a real time. Let's say I have a milkman who delivers milk to me every time, and that milk is in a milk bottle. You might have seen different milk service providers who are delivering milk in a bottle nowadays on a monthly subscription. Okay, So what exactly happens most of the time when they keep the milk outside the door, there are chances that due to any mishappenings, the bottles are crushed or they get cracked. Okay, so being a customer, this is a pain for me because every time a bottle is crushed or cracked, I need to pay some damage charges to the milkman. So what he did, apart from his regular services of delivering milk, he also offered me a kind of net stuff. Means the bottle was covered in a net which had a very thick layer, and I could see milk. Means I can see the milk inside the bottle, but there is a cover. There is a net cover which is strong. So even then, the bottles fell down on a very a little shock. It will never break. Means there is still a protection. So yes, I'm happy now. I will continue with it. You know what I'm saying? That particular net has nothing. The customer, if I went, if the milkman would have tried selling me the net only, probably I would have, said him no on the face. But it was given to me with the milk bottle, and that is helping me and the milkman both. You can think about it, because now I don't fear about the cracking of bottles, so I will continue the subscription. I don't have to worry about it. Got it? Now, when I was saying about the direct impact and sequential features, and the assisted experience or assisted revenue features, my intention was to understand this, what Netflix is doing here. So Netflix first built a solution where a single individual can watch movies online anytime, anywhere. Now, what exactly happened? A family of 5 members, which had 5 different devices, everybody wanted to watch a particular serial of their interest. And the head of the family had a subscription of Netflix. So if somebody has to watch a single episode of their own interest, they have to buy, bid for the mobile device. So what actually Netflix did, it added, a feature where people can share their subscriptions, so that all those 3 4 people can, see their uh, you know digital content, online content, commercials, or movies or TV shows based on their own choices. And the best part is, earlier, if somebody felt like 799 or 899 is costlier, now you can see they don't find it costlier because they can share their accounts with others, and they can contribute to the whole subscription, monthly subscriptions. So rather than losing a customer, they got 5 different customers, and there could be chances that those 5 customers can also convert more customers in future if they see the similar opportunity. Like, oh, why should I be restricted, seeing, uh, you know based on the different logins? I can convert my own login and I can give it to 4 more people. So this is the way. Means if your features are not directly impacting your revenues, they should be actually adding or helping direct features to bring in more revenues. Okay, so how to prioritize it? When you have thought about the product, you must think about, the geography, the target market you are going to target with your product. Why I'm saying so? You know, we are humans, and everybody wishes a lot more things. Even even a guy who is in a remote area where there is no way to land an aeroplane, they think of getting on a plane. Okay, so I mean, they can wish for anything, but you can't serve them there because there is no kind of airport or anything built over there. So you can't build you can't think to serve them, although they have a wish to be seated in an aeroplane to roam the country anywhere, but there is no kind of connection or transportation available. So understand the kind of geography, the kind of target market you are going to target, the country, the nation, the state, the the city, and also study about the people or the customers you are going to target. There could be high end earning people. They would be earning more and more. There could be people who are in a middle level income. They could be lower level income. So you need to think about all these aspects. Now what you should be doing, you should be creating a list of all the features that is that got an impact on users and revenues. Okay, as I told you, that impacts users and revenues first. Means I'm speaking about those features which have a direct relationship with users and revenues. I'm not talking about the assisted features or complementary features. Now, based on those filtered features, directly directly generating impact on users and revenues. Based on those features, create a revenue forecast of next 12 months. Okay. Now you might be surprised, like how can we create a revenue forecast for 12 months when we don't know what is the price of each feature. So there could be the cost. There could be the cost. I will be explaining it in the next slide. How you can think about the price, how you can price your products and features. So I will be discussing that. Okay, so let's stick to the point. We need to create a forecast, revenue forecast for next 12 months, and check for the features which are contributing maximum to revenues. Then we need to assign scores based on the contribution in revenues and the type of user impact they are creating. Okay, once we have this score assigned to them, we can check for the sequences in those features. Like there could be any sequence. You need to identify those sequences. Okay, should I be building a feature that is allowing users to buy e-commerce products individually? This is the first sequence. What if I allow that particular user to bring in their relatives and kins and family members in the same cart so that they can do a group buying? So there is a sequence. You built up individual shopping kind of stuff experience, and now you are replicating the same for 3 4 5 more users and creating a cluster over there. So this is the sequence. You need to think you need to check if there are any sequences, and if you find any sequences, the best is to order those features in that particular sequence. Once you have a sequence of features, sequential features, then you can decide on and then you can add on the development cost and the time involved in building all these features. You can create two different uh, the time and cost calculation. You can create in an agile methodology, or you can create in Scrum. Both you can build in both of the methodologies and then compare which is the most favorable for you. And once you do these comparisons, you do these scorings, you do these orderings of features, you need to replicate the same for assisted or complementary features, what we discussed earlier. Like there could be the direct impact on users and revenues, and then there could be assisted impact on users and revenues. So the same assisting complementary features need to have scoring and sequences to follow. Okay. Here's what you need to be very fast. Once you have your prioritization list in place, you need to create a roadmap and keep building your product. The process should be like build it, release it, get customers feedback, and then iterate it. You don't need to be in a closed room. You don't need to be in a closed room with 5 heads from revenue, sales, product, and executive members deciding on features and deciding on everything, experiences. Rather, those experiences, those features should actually be coming to you in terms of feedback from your customers. Okay, so build faster, release faster, get customer feedback as many as possible, and based on those feedbacks, iterate as much as possible. Now, when I talk about the customer's feedback, I don't mean like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feedbacks, and considering 1 to 5 feedbacks, you started making changes to your product. No, there's also a process behind analyzing and considering customers' feedback, and then creating your iteration chart list or the item list. What you can do, you need to have a good sample size of feedback suggesting particular change. You need to have a good sample size of customers suggesting add-on features, something. If it is there, then you need to again follow the same prioritization method based on RICE and sequential features. Then build it, launch it, and ask the same users, because you already have their sign up processes, sign up details. Speak to them. It's not always about the email communication. It's not always about the Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook communication. The best is if you have the mobile number, pick up the phone, call, and ask, what's the problem you're facing now? Or do you think, is it working for you? That's it. If that particular sample size agrees, like yes, this particular version of the product is good, then you need to move to the next milestone. Okay. Now let's discuss about something about the pricing and the recommended revenue streams. See, the best is to look after the competition. It is always said there could be two things. First, either you are completely disrupting the industry, either you are completely disrupting the market, there is no competition, then there is a bit of kind of struggle for you to decide on price. Although there are a different mechanism to decide a price, but when you are in a position disrupting the complete market or disrupting the complete industry, then you have a tough task to do. But you should feel happy if you find competition in your industry. You should feel happy when you find competition in your industry, because that validates your business model, that validates your product. And if that validates your product, they must be having a kind of pricing for their features, for their product offerings, so you can relate to that. Now again, once you get a base to decide on pricing, once you get a base to decide on fees, then you need to understand your own targeted market. See, you could have thought about a product which is already available in UK, which is working good there at a price range of £500 per month as a subscription. But do you think the same pricing will work here? Maybe, because you need to understand the means the market and the purchasing power of the people here. There is a huge difference in currencies. You know, so once you find a competition that is a good thing for you, it doesn't mean that you are not doing something good. Yes, that is good. That validates your business. That validates your product, and you need to keep building on. Next is to understand your own country, your target country, where you are trying to release your product, and you need to understand the purchasing power, their preferences of your customers. Now, the next thing what I suggest to consider while pricing your product is the ratio between your lifetime value of the customers and the customer acquisition cost. Now, you might be saying like, okay, see, before showing a price, how can somebody subscribe to our services? That is good. That is the reason I said like you could be having initial pricing based on your competition. Earlier you analyzed few of your competitors of the different locations. You studied them well, their features, their pricing, and then finally you concluded to a particular pricing range. Now, to understand that whether that pricing strategy is working or not, or should it be improving, should it need improvisation, you need to look at the lifetime value and customer acquisition ratio. If the lifetime value is more than 3, that is good. That is still even good. You need to understand that. Okay, and based on that, you can understand if the pricing is good or not. Next is, once you have the analysis on your competition, once you have the analysis on your lifetime value of the customers, your customer acquisition cost, then you need to understand like, okay, today I'm offering one video streaming option to customers, and for that I'm charging 199 per 199
Hello, Mr. Ranvijay. Can you hear us? I think we are facing some connection issues. We cannot see your screen.
So this way, there is a fair proposition for the customers because till now they were paying the same amount for every transaction and they were not getting any benefits. But yes, the value for the money they were availing that. But when they
Mr. Ranvijay, can you please share your screen? We just unfortunately we lost connection for about one minute. So can you please reshare your screen?
okay, now it's good. Okay, so guys, if you are here and if you could see my screen, please uh, be feel free to write down yes in the comments so that I can understand. Like yes, you can see that. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so by offering a subscription to a frequent transactional behavior, you are helping the user or the customer in saving a good amount of money every time for the complete year. And in the same time, you are ensuring yourself that at least one customer is there going to be with us for the whole year, isn't it? So this way, you will have a good forecast. Like if you have 1,000 customers paying 1,000, who paid 1,000 of an amount of subscription, you have a good, almost 1 lakh, 10 lakh, whatever the amount is, you are getting in a fixed kind of amount, and there then you are earning on those transactions every time they buy every month in every transactions. So this is what I always recommend rather than directly believing on, okay, so let's say for example, if I'm building an e-commerce store, uh, there could be multiple ways to improvise or to strengthen your revenues by adding more products, by adding more variations of the products, by selling more and more. But still, what I believe, rather than overloading yourself, making it assets heavy, you should be converting your product into a subscription plus transactional model. This will help you to have a good amount of fund with you earlier. You can use that fund to keep building your product, and meanwhile the revenues from the transaction will help you in your working capital every month. So this way you can have a good working capital and a capex with you every time there is a conversion happening, a subscription conversion happening. So this is what I suggest for businesses that I speak with when they are very early on product. They have not actually means uh, insecure any funding or anything. But every time I speak to somebody, I definitely recommend them to go with a transactional plus subscription model. Now, if you ask me how we can put down a subscription model to every product, if that is the question, you need to think very closely about the product you are building. I strongly believe, like, why do we buy home? I know that could be a very generous question, but why do we buy home? Why don't we keep living in hotels? Although hotels are very good in ambience and they have a luxury lifestyle over there, why do we buy home by investing 30 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 1 crore? Why? Because we know every day we are out, but at the end of the day we have to be in a room, we have to be in a home, we have to be with the family, and we can't keep roaming all around the city every time for a new hotel. So my logic is, even buying a home is a kind of subscription. We bought everything, means an area with to build in our own home so that we can be here for all the time. We don't have to pay extra every time. You will understand it when you try to think more about it. This is just an example. So you don't think like okay, my products is something different and there can't be any subscription business model. There can be. You just need to figure out. And why I suggest going for a subscription model, because that will help you to have a good working capital and a capital for your business to go ahead. At the end, when you will be break even, or you are a profit making company, you will be a good good bait for investors. They will be coming to you rather than you chasing investors. The time you spent on writing pitch decks, sending those pitch decks in emails, getting requesting follow-ups, calling setting appointments with the analyst, discussing your financial projections, the vanity numbers, the vanity features, whatever you say. At the end of 3 to 6 months, you burn all your cash, and then definitely you think like, oh, that was a good trial. So best is, keep your motives clear, keep be clear about what kind of product you are trying to build. A product that makes revenues, generate profits, so that investors can chase you. A product that is revenue or profit making motive, and then you have a better understanding of your target market here along with the users, and you understand the difference between features, those are directly impacting your users and revenues, and then the difference between the difference between directly impacting features, directly impacting users and revenues, and features assisting users and revenues. Along with that, you need to start thinking about some subsequential features, and see the sequence of event and how you are planning to solve those sequence of events with your features. Then you can decide on pricing. As I said, if this is the disruption, if this is a complete disruption, definitely that's a kind of very different case scenario altogether. But if if it is already there, but you are building something incremental, in that case you can keep a base of your competition while building your pricing. You can look at your LTV and CAC ratio, and then you can think about including the cost and a kind of royalty, whatever you say, uh, for your upcoming upgrades and features that your existing customers will have access to. Okay, and then finally we concluded like what revenue models should we follow. And yes, I still say I strongly recommend subscription business model plus transactions. Build it, you will be happy. So this is all about this is all from me, and now I'm ready to take questions from you guys. Let's see, uh, what questions do you have? Okay, so Ritu, see, if you look at the successful subscription-based products, even the growers are doing something good. They launched their subscription membership, a small fee around 4.99 for every year. Although even then we don't go for a membership fee of 4.99, we still need to buy products from these grocery delivery platforms. And for last 3 years I have been shopping with grocers, so I understand how convenient it is for me to order my groceries from home, staples from home, and then deliver it on time. So I'm happy with that. Now the best part is what they are saying. If I go with their annual membership plan or subscription plan, they will be giving me some 5 to 10% more discount on every item. So if I see my monthly transaction is around 2,500 to 3,000, that means that is annually 36,000. And if they are saving me even 5% of that, that means they are saving 1,800 for annually for me. And out of 1,800, if I'm paying 500 to them, still I'm saying 1,300, isn't it? So that's a good deal for me, and that's a good deal for growers. Okay, now, when do you finally decide the product features needs a change? Okay, so features needs a change that totally depends on the kind of experience your customers are, suggesting you. Once you build a product, you must be having your core features, assisted features in your product. Your users will be trying it, they will be experiencing it, and if they are happy, you need to understand the churn rate here. Churn rate is very much critical, and you need to understand it very carefully. Although I suggest you don't start calculating or considering churn rate of 3 months or 6 months, and say like, oh, my product got product market fit. No, you should not be taking 3 months or 6 months as a timeline to announce like yes, or consider like yes, it is product market fit. Rather, it should either in normal cases or in a better cases, I must say, it takes around more than 2 years to understand if your product has a good market fit or not. Okay, so once you have a lower churn rate, then you need to think like, okay, my product is good, my product is doing good. And if you have higher churn rate, that means your customers are not happy, they are not finding values in your features. So you should be speaking to them what exactly, where exactly they are feeling the pain, what features, what points they are not liking in. And if you got plenty of feedback from the same group of customers, then yes, definitely your features needs to change. Yes, Ms. Shubhesh, yeah, I completely agree with you that Canva and video making services are having a subscription model, because if I go at Canva and I need to use some premium images or something, I need to pay $1. But if I go with their subscription, hopefully I'm not that much aware, but I guess after subscribing to their subscriptions, those are not charged. I can access multiple of elements and their backgrounds for free, I guess, the way upgraded member use. Yes, so that makes sense, Canva and other video editing softwares. Now, GN Reddy, what? Hi, GN, how are you? Okay, fine. Okay, so what are the most important things in early release and taking feedback or feedback and entering early version of the product? Okay, see, your early release should not be a kind of fancy stuff. You don't have to build a fancy stuff. Rather, you need to have your core features in it. Let me tell you an example. Uh, there are two restaurants. One is having a good ambience, well-dressed staffs. Okay, well-dressed staffs. There's a kind of one-touch payment kind of stuff kiosk over there. There is everything. And then next to it there is a restaurant which doesn't have that much of fancy false ceilings and the ambience, the paintings, nothing is there. But what is there, they have uh, a sitting area, they have standing waiters, they have menu cards, that normal menu cards, and the food is being served and people are enjoying their meals. That means, I must say, so should so I should be asking you, out of these two restaurants, where would you be willing to go if you are hungry? Definitely, you will choose to go in the restaurant that offers food at that point, isn't it? You need food. You don't need a fancy restaurant to look around. So this is the case. Even if you build, if you are releasing a product for the if it is your early version of the product, it should have core features, at least one single features that actually addressing your targeted users problem. Even then, that is not in a good shape. They will be happy to use it. They will be happy to help you in improving it. And believe me, now due to the technical advancement, the adoption of internet technology, smartphones, people know, people know who are the founders of this product. They know, they follow these founders, and even some of them come forward and help them in growing their products. They become the brand ambassadors. So it is not like 80s, 90s, 2000, when we were dreaming to meet Kishore Biani. We were dreaming to see somebody. Uh, but nowadays they are available on a single tweet. So speak, so people know what are startups, what products you are building. They are aware of it. They can, if they don't know, they can look on YouTube and they can find the solutions around it. So my main point is build a core feature, offer them to your customers, even then in a bad shape, collect feedbacks as much as possible. Don't go for 50 or selected 100 feedbacks. Go for more and more feedback. Let the product evolve. Don't push it. Okay? Okay, guys. So I guess, uh, do you have any more questions? Because it is already done. It's 1 hour. Okay, so I request Lau, if you are there. We are done with the session, and I really appreciate the way insight and the flow allowed me here to present my understanding and my limited
Yeah.
knowledge with you.
Yeah.
So that was a
So
great
yeah.
option for me.
Yeah. So thank you, Mr. Vijay, for the great insights. And yeah, so we enjoyed the session a lot, and I think we learned a lot of like new stuff. So yeah. So let's end the session. Thank you
Yeah.
everyone for attending,
Thanks
and
everyone. Thank you.
yeah.
Bye bye.